Nerd Goblin Art. I'm Lula. Right, I ordered this mould from Temu. I love dragons, and this dragon looked pretty cool, and it's wrapped around a hat. So I've got Nether and Starlight from the Tiny Turner, and I've also pulled out Let's Resin Gold Chameleon Powder, which I'm going to be using on the hat. Not sure if you notice it's a hat. That's right. I'm using Starlight for the nails, teeth, and like the bone structure, like horny bits, yeah, horn bits. Can't take me anywhere. So it's going to be a bit of a blending job where the dragon's concerned. So Starlight I'm going to be using, like I said, on the teeth, the eye. There's horns there, and there's like, I don't know what to call them. Gills? No, they're not gills. But like face fans. I should really learn the technical terms. But yeah, you get the idea. He's got like face fans. So he's also got like I can't think of words. I tell you what, he's got bits and stuff and spiky bits along his back. I'll think of the word in a minute. You know, fibros, no fun, with brain fog and such. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna speed you up. I'm gonna let you enjoy some music, and I'll be adding the nether pigment, and I'll be blending it in to mix well with Starlight.
Dragons on the ground, so small they barely make a sound. Mushrooms large and standing tall, friendship flies where shadows fall. Jumping spiders bouncing round, little legs upon the ground. Eyes so big they see it all, tiny dragons hear their call. Tiny dragons hear their call. Tiny dragons, mushroom friends, in a land where wonder never ends. Spiders jumping high and low, in a world where magic grows. Through the forest they will roam, finding treasures near their home. Tiny wings and nimble toes, magic in the air it flows. Jumping spiders build their webs, tiny dragons near their beds, laughing in the evening light, friends until the stars ignite. Tiny dragons, mushroom friends, in a land where wonder never ends. Spiders jumping high and low, in a world where magic grows. Tiny dragons hear their call.
Broomsticks flying through the sky, laughing witches up so high. Werewolves howl at full moon's light, ghosts dance in the graveyard night. Broomsticks flying through the sky, laughing witches up so high. Werewolves howl at full moon's light, ghosts dance in the graveyard night. Shadows creep beneath the trees, winds whisper in the breeze. Owls hoot in the darkened air, magic lingers everywhere. Witches cackle loud and clear, broomsticks soaring without fear. Ghosts in rhythm, graveyard play, moonlit secrets night and day. Candles flicker, shadows tall in the night. We see it all, wolves and witches ancient lore, mysteries forevermore. Witches cackle loud and clear, broomsticks soaring without fear. Ghosts in rhythm, graveyard play, moonlit secrets night and day.
Okay, now that the dragon is done, I'm just using a baby wipe to make my way around the hat, because I want to use the golden Let's Resin Chameleon powder in there. So using a baby wipe on the bigger parts, you can use regular, sorts of things. Damped kitchen roll or whatnot. And to get to the smaller areas, I'm just using a cotton bud, and I have sprayed it with isopropyl alcohol. Now, please remember, if you're going to be wiping over moulds, and you need to obviously dry them, because we know resin does not like any wet or water or any sort. Please don't rub your moulds with like your kitchen roll. Dab it. I'm dabbing it there, dabbing it dry, so because you could scratch your moulds using the wipes, using the kitchen roll. Sorry, and you could make a really nice mould really dull as well, and you'll see those scratch marks in there if you do scratch it. So I am putting on the gold chameleon powder. This is from the newer set that was released in like a set of 4. I don't think it's much different to the original, but there was 2 other colours within that set that I didn't actually have, so that's why I ordered it. And it was reduced in I think it was the prime sale. I think it was down to like just less than a tenner. So yeah, that's cool. But it goes on lovely as the Tiny Turner pigments do, that just go on really lovely onto these moulds. So giving it a lovely brush over now, and it just looks gorgeous. It really looks gorgeous. Look at that. I'm going to give it another go over with the Tiny Turner, the main colour. Just all over, just to make sure that we're all covered, because this is like basically the prime colour. I've tried using the Starlight basically as like the highlight, and it looks awesome. These colours are just mwah, they're just absolutely stunning to work with, and they're so easy to clean up as well. Some pigment powders and such can be a bit of pain, so just giving it a little tap. Look at that. Woo. So I'm going to be using, just because I've used a lot of black mica powder with these pigments, and I thought it was good to show you guys that white can give you such a different look. So I'm going to be using Apex Resin, I believe, if I can remember. So I'm going to give you a little bit of music to enjoy while I do this.
Pour it smooth, let it flow, but these bubbles got to go. Every time I get the vibe, little air pockets, they arrive. My artwork's popping, but these bubbles got me stopping. Resin so clean, but man, these bubbles obscene. Heat gun in my hand, waving like the king of the land. But these bubbles never learn, they always return. in my eyes as the clarity fades and dies. Perfect pour in sight, but these bubbles just fight. Bubble trouble, double the toil. In my resin artwork they spoil and soil. Pop, pop, they don't stop. Got my vibe on the line, I wanna drop. Late night under the light, working till it's right. Smoothing every piece, praying for a clean release. Stirring slow, watching close, avoiding every dose. Patience wearing thin, bubbles always win. Resin dreams, caught in schemes, bubble nightmares it seems. Breaking through my cool, ruin my every rule. Heat the torch, hit the mark, frustration leaves its mark. But I keep on pushing through, gotta make it true. Bubble trouble, double the toil. In my resin artwork they spoil and soil. Pop, pop, they don't stop. Got my vibe on the line, I wanna drop.
Oh, I love that song. Okay, so I've stirred in the white mica powder. Well, I'm still stirring actually, into my resin. I'm just making sure there's no puffs of powder in there that we don't want. And I want that to have a bit of degassing by itself. I also pulled out this Trinket jar. I really wanted to have a go at doing it, and you know, because I made plenty of resin. Well, at this point I thought I made plenty of resin, but I do have to make up a little bit more later. So I want to do, I've pulled out midnight blue, and I'm gonna have my Intoresin metallic, I think it's deep gold. I'm adding it into the midnight blue, but I'm also going to be dripping it in at the same time. So this is a brand new one that I've not used yet, so please don't use scissors to snip those ends. Get a pen and pop it down. Look at that. I love dropping alcohol inks into colours. I always love that. It's just to give that midnight blue a little bit of extra something. This part of the video, I knew I was going to be doing the Trinket jar because I had it sitting on the side ready. But I didn't actually know what I was going to be doing with it. You know, if there was a technique, if there was a stuff. But the dragon is... I can't even call it a lesson. The dragon is my main part of the video. The Trinket is... well, the dragon's fun, but the... you know, obviously there's not a lot of play with this kind of mould with the dragon. So the Trinket jar is just a play. You know, it's just a bit of experimenting. So I haven't filled it completely, and I'm using my heat gun to help with any of those bubbles. But this Apex resin from Just For You Online UK, it is fab at debubbling. Now, I'm not saying you won't get, but because you will, it's possible you will. If you put it through a debubbler, there's even less chance. But I was being lazy and impatient and didn't want to use my debubbler today. What I noticed with this mould, obviously, it's not like, you know, it's from Temu. And I think we're all aware, we all take the chance when we order these moulds from Temu that sometimes they can be defective. And this one, if you look at the top of the wing, where the dragon's wing is, it's not right. It's I started noticing that although I was adding more, it was all running towards that end, you know, and it wasn't as full as I wanted it to be. So there isn't, on this particular mould that I ordered, see there where I have to lift it up, there's not enough support on that end. So if you, I have linked this mould in my description, or if you happen to have already seen it perhaps on Temu and you've ordered it yourself and you're not used it yet, be aware of that. My table is level because I think I do pick up my, yeah, there's my little spirit level, and my table is set, it's centered and it is balanced. So it is, that part of the mould just kept flopping down. You know, I was keeping an eye on it, added more, wasn't happy. So I do move it very carefully. Very carefully. I'm glad I got, you know, thing hands. But I moved it over to my other, I've got another, like a balance table behind me. So I moved it gently to there. And I put some, I've basically stabilised it. Well, I'm keeping an eye on it while I'm working on this. Right, I have just sprayed the Trinket? Take your teeth out. The Trinket jar with isopropyl alcohol and just use my fingers to move it all around. I've never done this particular jar before, but I know from watching others that it can be, you can get quite bubbly. So I decided just to play on this one. So that is Sky Blue Let's Resin mica powder. I've already poured in some of the resin with alcohol ink, and that was the Midnight Blue. And I just want to play. You know, I've talked about this many times, you know, where, you know, I think many resin artists are the kids that never really grew up, you know, making potions in the garden with mud and flowers and stuff. I just love this part of resin. I just love dropping, pouring, dipping, stirring. It is great fun. And I do find that when I do things like this, that I sometimes get my best results just from playing around and just chilling, basically, and enjoying the moment. It's not to say I don't enjoy doing, say, the dragon like I did a moment ago, but I was more concentrated on that one, being aware that I was doing it, you know, for hopefully a good reveal, a lovely reveal for everybody at the end, and a learned lesson, you know, that, you know, how to do a nice piece of resin art. Obviously I enjoy that, but doing stuff like this, you know, you can see I love swirls. When I'm painting with acrylics, I do a lot of swirling. And when I was pouring it, I just kept thinking about, you know, Starry Night and Van Gogh. That's why I think I was drawn to the colours with mixing the different blues and then adding the gold into it. I was just thinking Starry Night, you know, with Don McLean. So is at this point that I realise I'm not going to have enough resin for the lid. It actually takes a lot more resin than you think, surprisingly. So it's no bad. You know, you can quickly make some up. You've got a lot of work, you know, 25-30 minutes work time with this resin, so it's no problem at all. It's a lovely resin to work with. I'm like, oh no. Scraping the remnants. No, Lou, you're gonna have to make up more. So yeah, I do end up making just a little bit more. Yeah, and I thankfully, because I watch other resin artists and such, I knew to make sure to use the, my silicone stool. Oh my goodness, there. My silicone tool to just, go down into the tip of that lid to encourage any bubbles up. So this was I didn't film me doing more resin. You didn't need to see that. It was just the tiny little bit of extra to make sure that I had plenty in the lid and in the base. So I'm using my silicone tool, not a stool, a tool, to make sure that I'm going all around the edges on the lid. It's a lip. It's not often I get away with not having at least a few micro bubbles in the inside the lid. It's not often, but I really don't mind tiny little micro bubbles now and again. It's just those big chunky ones I really don't like when you've got to do quite a bit of repair work. So I'm just making sure that I'm getting around there. And it gives a chance, for the different mixes of the, the mica powders and the alcohol inks, just to mix up a little bit more. And I've done the same with the jar. And again, with the heat gun, I find that this combination really works for me more so than a long net lighter does. So I've been doing it a lot more lately. The combination of a bit of isopropyl alcohol and the heat gun. So there we go. Now time for the demold. Yes. Oh, I'm so pleased. I have been naughty, and I have actually put this this segment just of the jar, not of the dragon, on my Facebook page because I really wanted to share it. As usual, no nails, so used my dotting tool to help me get under there. This is the next day as well. I was actually patient for a change, and I left it for the following day. And it's quite early in the morning as well, so I've had to use my lights. Boop. Now, I love it. I'm really impressed. That's why I keep looking at it. See, tiny little bubbles, but that's fine. I will just pop in some UV resin on that. So this, I think I was more concerned as well about the bottom of the jar, but all is good. All is good. It was actually surprisingly a bit more difficult to get this out than I expected. But there we go. I got it. Make sure you put your moulds back into position because you don't want to ruin them. So, look at that. It's so pretty. I'm so pleased. And that's not bubbles around the rim, by the way. That's just where I poked the silicone tool down. But I am so impressed. Isn't it pretty? It's such a lovely, lovely blue. I really do love blues. And it's so lovely. See, me stroking it. I like it that much. Right, so if you've watched my videos before, you'll have seen that I don't think I've done a white backing for the Tiny Turner pigments. And I thought, let's show you how putting a white backing can change a piece. Are we ready? Wow. I love it. Check that out. Now, are they as intense with the white? No. You know, with the black, yes, the colours are definitely more intense, but with the white, it gives a completely different look. I think it looks magical. I think it looks more fantasy. You know, the kind of fantasy in my mind anyway. I'm really loving it. I think it looks really good. And considering it's from Temu, the mould, I think it came out really good because, you know, they're not always brilliant, these moulds. So I absolutely love it. What do you think? So it can be done with a white background and not just a black background with good quality pigments. And I just love this jar. I keep looking at it. It is so pretty. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. I was wondering if a light would work good in it. I think a stronger one or fairy lights would anyway. Thank you for the coffees. Thank you for the likes and the comments on previous videos. Please do so for me again. It really helps my channel. And check out my description box for links and coupons and stuff. And I'm going to share these now in the glamour shots. Ooh, look shiny. So pretty. Thank you for watching. Love you and stay weird.
In a world of paint and canvas bright, a dream of dragons taking flight. Colors swirl and magic's near. I'm an artist feeling no fear. With a brush I conjure spells, tales of wonder I love to tell.